Hey everybody! I am back in the swing of things and have a supersize sales video for y'all. I took a month off from YouTube, so rather than skipping a month on these videos showing you all these fabulous sales, they'll just be a couple of months behind. But that's okay, the sales are still fresh and only around 60 days old. The sales in this video are from my Facebook group from the August sales post, and we have a dedicated thread every month, so make sure you are posting your $100 and over sales in the right place so I can find them for these videos. Also, make sure your photos are big enough. The posts with itty bitty teeny tiny photos don't make it into these videos. They're just too small, and this is a very visual business, so we want everybody to see your item. So just make sure that the photos are big enough. The best way is to go to the actual listing on a desktop or click through on your mobile phone until you get to the page with the big photo. So if you need any help with that, you can always reach out to me and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so let's jump in. We've got Sonia Escalante. She said she took an offer for $100, paid $25 for a tote half full of Fugglers, Fuggglers, and other sellable items sold within 2 days of listing. So I did include a photo of the Tushy tag. So if you're not familiar with this name, you won't forget it after this. It's pretty unique. But this is a rare chase variant Mr. Button's Fuggler Burlap Ugly Monster. So she paid, well, maybe a couple of dollars for this because it was mixed in with other things and took an offer of 100. And you might be wondering, what does chase variant mean? And I was wondering that too. So here is our wonderful, or maybe not so wonderful, AI overview. A chase variant is a rare limited edition version of a standard collectible, such as a figure or a toy, that is produced in small quantities and randomly inserted into regular shipments. These variants are distinguished from the common version by a unique feature like a different color scheme, finish, or accessory that are highly sought after by collectors. So I didn't even know this kind of thing had a name, but this is done intentionally to make the variants more valuable because they're just randomly out there. There's not hundreds of them in a store together. They're just sprinkled all around the universe for us to find. So that was your vocabulary word, chase variant. Okay, next up is me. I'm allowed to insert my sales into these videos every now and then, toot my own horn, because I get excited about $100 sales too. This is a St. John Basics jacket, Santana knit. I had purchased a bunch of these on an online auction for about $20 a piece, and this was listed at $130. Buyer offered $85. I countered with $100 and she accepted and was very happy with it. So don't be afraid to counter offer. I know we all get frustrated with low offers, but our buyers are just like us. They want to get a deal. You can't blame them. We want to get a deal. So don't be afraid to counter because they might accept it. Next up is Zandra Ritter. Paid $4 at a yard sale. accepted a best offer of $108 shipped within 24 hours. These are the Wiggles mini friends, lot of 7. Haven't heard about the Wiggles for a while. Those were really big, maybe around 2010, 2012. That was very popular. So apparently, still popular for collectors. $108 from a $4 investment. Janine Joyce found this Nokona kangaroo leather belt at Goodwill for $1.99. Took a few months to sell for asking price of $109 plus shipping. Belts are my favorite. Yes, this is a great find, and who knew that kangaroo leather was a thing? So you can see it is a Nokona belt, genuine kangaroo, men's size 34 belt, and it doesn't even have a fancy buckle on it. Some of them do have a fancy silver tone buckle, but this one looks pretty plain. I might have just passed right over that. Kangaroo leather, who knew? Christy Balcom found this towel in a storage unit that we paid $250 for. The unit was formerly owned by collectors who had some amazing things. The towel had some fading and wear, but still sold quickly for $112.99 plus shipping after I had ended and relisted it. The item is vintage 1981 Franco, that's the manufacturer, Dukes of Hazzard beach towel made in USA. Yes, that is a blast from the past. Okay, Joy Fulkin purchased these books at Goodwill Library book sales a few years ago and kept for our personal library. Cost was less than $5. I'm cleaning out our books and knew these were worth good money, as this is one of the Laura Ingalls Wilder spin-off series that is rare. Listed for $119.99 and was messaged in 3 days asking if I would take $100. That is exactly what I wanted for them, so she sent an offer through the message, which the buyer accepted right away. These are going to Saskatchewan, Canada. So it is Little House prequel books, the Martha Years, complete set of 4 paperbacks. Great sale. And yes, that is Little House is popular once again. It has never gone off the air, uh, the TV show, and they just celebrated their 50th anniversary in 2024. So it's all over social media again that Little House is a popular thing. So great sale on those books. Okay, Barbara Knight purchased 3 Harvey's bags at an estate sale on half price day for $12.50 each. Sold this one in 8 hours for best offer of $120. Sold another traditional style purse the same day for $60 and still have one listed. And these are, or this is, Harvey's seatbelt bag. It's a convertible tote. So yes, that is a thing. Seatbelt handbags and tote bags. So this was $12.50 and she took an offer of $120. Eileen Cole. I've had this tarot kit listed for 2 years and put it on sale and sent out offers regularly with no bites. Purchased at a used book sale. Finally sold for full asking price of $125 plus shipping. This is the transparent tarot kit, Emily Carding book cards, first edition. $125. Excellent. Steve Gittler paid $15 for 6 Cutco knives and a block at an estate sale a few weeks ago. These 4 sold for full price within 24 hours of listing. I did send them in for cleaning and sharpening first. Cutco number 1759 serrated table knife classic brown handle set of 4 factory sharpened. If you are not aware, Cutco has a lifetime guarantee on all their products. You don't have to have the original receipt. So, just like Steve, if you find these somewhere and want to have them sharpened, or if the handle has come off or is breaking, or if anything is wrong with it, you can send them into Cutco and they will repair it free of charge. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. So remember that when you're out in the wild and you cross over any Cutco items, take another look at those because you can get them repaired for free. So it was $15 and sold for $129.95 minus whatever the shipping was to send them in and have them cleaned and sharpened. Becky Sanders bought this BOLO tie at an estate sale. It was hanging with the other regular ties and sign said ties $2. That's what I paid for it, not knowing it was gold. I was pleasantly surprised when I got home and looked it up. Took a best offer in a week and a half for $121. It even had some wear and tear, which I disclosed. So this is a Landstrom's Black Hills Gold 10 karat, 12 karat leaf design bolo tie, Western braided. So what a great find, $2 and sold for $121. Diana Warren paid $8 in an auction lot and sold for $128.79 in about 2 months. This is a vintage Enjoy Coca-Cola Zippo lighter. What a deal, $8 and sold for $128.79. Carla City found this set at a rummage sale on my way home from work on Sunday after 1:30 p.m. Had the Lefton sticker and year made on the back of the mama bird's head. There was a chip on the wing of the mama bird, but I forgave that. I paid $3. Didn't get to list this till after the 4th of July. Found another chip as I was taking pictures on the beak of one of the babies. Showed the damage in the pictures. Did a buy it now of $134.99 and it sold for that price, asking price, in a little under 24 hours. And these are so cute. Vintage Lefton Mama and Babies Birds wall decor. $3 sold for $134.99. Okay, moving on to some jeans. Bridget DeSimone. These 90s Y2K Genco are very popular, sold in 2 weeks for asking price of $140. I paid $6. Vintage Genco or JNCO Twin Cannon 26 barrel jeans. How about that? Like, personally, these were pretty awful back in the 90s, and so they're just going to be awful again. uh, Genco, JNCO, remember that? These were $6, sold for $140. Andrew Silveroli. Love finding a good Pokemon item. Won this in a local online auction for $10.50. It sold in 1 week for full price. Original 1999 Hasbro Tomy Jumbo Chonky Pikachu Pokemon plush character. You try saying that 10 times fast or even 3 times fast. So $10.50 and it's sold for $139.99. Okay, Marlene the Horse Lady. These were my personal boots. Wore frequently in the 90s with my corporate pantsuit attire. That's great, Marlene. Bally makes some of the best leather, or they did, not sure they still do. I really don't know what I paid for these back in the day. They came from the numerous totes we brought with us from our Georgia move. Took 3 years and 5 months to sell. Made an offer of 30% off listed price of $200, sold for $140 plus shipping. They are going to New York City to a woman who is a shoe designer. So these are vintage Bally women's Napa black leather Kayla boots, size 7.5 medium. Well, Marlene, I give you the award for patience on this one. Way to go. Brooke Gerber bought these for 99 cents each at Goodwill for a total of $3.96 spent. Sold within 2 days of listing. Accepted an offer of $143.99 for some puzzles. Thomas Kincaid Rebbit 3D puzzles set of 4, sealed. Now the thrifting gods were looking down on Brooke that day. Sealed puzzles at Goodwill. I never see them sealed. They're always used and taped back together, so you don't know if all the pieces are present, which really doesn't matter with puzzles anyway. You can just say you didn't work the puzzle, you don't know. There are ways that the buyer can contact the puzzle manufacturer to get the missing pieces. So it's just a blessing when you find these sealed products. $4 turned into $143.99. Jane Brown paid $15 for this at a town-wide yard sale, took 4 months to sell, sold for full asking price. Ralph Lauren Big Pony 2 Red fragrance. It's EDT spray. $160, and she paid $15 for it. Carlos Chavez. I got this 2010 Limax Nutcracker Suite Ballet Musical Animated from a private pick. It cost around $9. It sold in about a month for $169.99 plus shipping. So there you can see 2010 Nutcracker Suite, and it says it's working. Apparently it's used, but that's okay. It's working. So $9 into just about $170. Lori Knowles. I've had this for years. I knew it was unique. It sat with my other cool finds in my living room. Glad to have had it, but I don't think I'll miss it. It is a Richard Ginori Pittoria Cachet pot from Italy with gold gilding. Okay, what is a cachet pot or cache? Not sure how you pronounce that. But it is just a pretty pot that you put an uglier pot inside of. That's what it said when I looked it up. So plants that come from, Home Depot Garden Center or wherever, and they're in that ugly plastic pot, you just put it down inside something pretty like this. Anyway, it sold for $175. Andrew Silveroli has another one. Won this in a local online auction for $35. It sold in 1 month for full price. Sealed. 1987 Dungeons and Dragons. So this is a video game. $35, and it sold for $179.99. Tina Wozniak paid $7 at an auction, sold overnight for $180. And this is Tina and her husband's specialty, Hot Wheels. Although, is this it just says Johnny Lightning 1993 GMC Typhoon Lightning Strike. It doesn't say if it's Mattel or Hot Wheels or what, or unless I'm just not seeing it. Anyway, $7, sold for $180 for a little bitty car. Craig Jones bought this Department 56 Flamingo Club Christmas Village with box and styrofoam holder from a garage sale for $7.50. It was from the 80s and in South Beach, Miami Art Deco style. I figured it had a good upside. I was delighted to sell it for $199.99 in a couple of weeks. Nice roll of the dice on this item. And Craig was on the podcast recently and talked about this flamingo garage sale where like everything there was a flamingo theme. So yes, nice roll of the dice, $7.50, sold for just under $200. Janet Turnage bought this vintage Levi's watch at my local thrift shop for 25 cents, which is what she charges for all non-working watches. I spent $17 having a new battery put in and one side of the band reattached. It's kind of scarce and I didn't have a lot of comps, so I priced it what I thought was high. It sold for full price in 2 days. Levi's watch, 1963 Cowboy Lasso rope leather band. New battery. 25 cents plus the $17 to have it fixed, so we'll call that a $17.25 investment. Sold for $199.99. Maggie May, BOLO here, picked up this large platter with a reproduction of a Clementine Hunter painting, that is a Black American folk artist, at a small thrift for $11. I accepted an offer of $200 with free shipping the next day. The ceramic platter is from the Gitter Gallery in New Orleans, and from my Googling, it looks like they have discontinued this line. Now to safely pack it up. So this sold for $200 and she paid $11. Kathleen Gifford. My neighbor gave me this antique coffee grinder with the understanding that if it sold, we would split the profit. It sold for $200 plus shipping within 15 minutes of listing. I am certain I did not charge enough, even with doing all the research. Nevertheless, he was happy. So this is an antique coffee grinder, Suffolk Iron Foundry, 1920, English double wheel. So no cost to her. She split the profit and it sold for $200. Next up is Colleen Olson. Found this all over print Halloween sweater for $2 at a garage sale. Sold for full asking price in about a month. Vintage 90s Northern Isles hand knit Halloween ghost owl crow witch AOP sweater. What is the AOP? I do not know. But it was $2 and it sold for $200. Ugly sweaters can be really valuable. Although this one is pretty fun. I wouldn't call it ugly. Sherry Lynn, getting in under the wire. Funny story, I found this teacup at my local thrift store, but it was missing the matching saucer. I did a quick Google image search and found it was worth $800 plus with the saucer. So on a whim, I listed it with a mismatched saucer and the next day got a full offer of $250 plus shipping. Don't skip over teacups or saucers if they don't have their match. It is a Paragon double warrant pink Easter lily teacup and mismatched saucer. Well, it does look pretty together, and unless you're an expert in teacups or this pattern, how would you know? And you disclosed that it's mismatched, so that's a win all the way around. Nice job, Sherry. Lisa Wilbur bought this bag of U.S. Kids, I almost said us skids, but it's U.S. Kids junior golf clubs at a thrift store. Paid $20. Sold 4 clubs in the bag that were not part of this set on Marketplace for $40, and this set sold in 4 days for $270 plus $33 shipping. So there you can see U.S. Kids Club Tour Series Junior Golf Set. $20 sold for $270. And now we have Picky Ol' Fuss Budget. That is her stage name. She went to an estate sale in June where she felt that most everything was priced too high. Walked into the living room, there was a table set up with Christmas items, and this was on it for $10. I thought it was beautiful, and it was Department 56, so I was sure I could sell it for a pretty good price. Turns out there are hardly any out there, especially in perfect condition. I decided to go ahead and list it a couple of weeks ago, and it sold for full price of $299 this week. So that was on uh, late August. This was posted August 23rd. Christmas generally starts to sell well starting in about late August, and she is not wrong. So you can see there it is a Department 56 winter silhouette white porcelain sleigh and 4 reindeer mint, no box, $299. Okay, Bill Hunt got an amazing haul of Patrick Nagel serigraphs at one estate sale. There were about 25 bundled up, and I paid $20 for the lot. When I got them home, I discovered most have varying degrees of water damage. I'm listing and disclosing anyway, and this buyer bought 4 of them for $349 total. I'll need to refund a bit for shipping, and he asked for a discount on one, but still should clear around $300. Took a month and a half to sell. So that is just some funky art. The artist is Patrick Nagel. And what a win on that, Bill. And we're going to end with the master of reselling, George Kelly. Bought this sterling military pin at a garage sale in a Ziploc bag filled with sterling jewelry for $200. First piece I listed sold for $405 at auction. Lots more to list. This is a vintage Robbins sterling World War I U.S. Army Air Service Aviator pin. So his investment was pretty low if he bought a whole Ziploc bag filled with jewelry, and this one sold for $405. Nice one, George. Okay, we have made it to the end. Keep posting those sales on the group, and I'll keep making these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, all that stuff people say at the end, because it really does help the algorithm on videos on YouTube. I appreciate you and your time, and I will see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.